entrance to campus. That was the sign at the entrance. That's the entrance to campus. And what you're going to see is, what you would see is if you drive through the entrance up to campus. As you drive onto campus, you enter what we call the historic district of the campus. The buildings and the structures here are all very, very historic. We're approaching, on the left, I guess that's the, and then a covered bridge, and then you'll come to an iconic barn on the left side as well that we refurbished.
Looks like we need asphalt, no asphalt on this road.
That's right.
After the rain.
So we're still driving out through this historic entrance to campus. We come to the first stoplight, and then we come to the second stoplight, and this is where the Hagar site is. The Hagar site is on the left. On the right, you see our current family housing for faculty and staff. On the left is where the Hagar site would be.
I can't skip ahead, Chancellor, so it's.
I'm sorry?
I can't skip ahead, so it's going to keep showing it. This is now coming down.
This is coming down. Comes the other way.
Okay, now we're coming down the other way on Coolidge Drive. So I showed you what it's like going onto campus. Now we're showing you what it looks like going off campus. And we're passing soon on the right where that Hagar site is. Again, on the left, you'll see our current faculty and staff housing, and way on the right, I guess you can't, there's the arrow for where the Hagar site is.
That's right, Terrace.
Faculty and staff housing.
Now we're going, so I've practiced this more. Now we're heading up Hagar towards the center of campus. The development would be to your right. If you notice the various buses and vehicles, we're going to go to a simulation in 2030 of what the site looks like, but we have the exact same buses and vehicles to help you. I'll point out where we are. So now we're heading uphill. This is the current site to our right, heading up Hagar. Looking down, the base of campus is all the way to the right. Coolidge is the ring road that comes around the edge. Hagar comes up, intersecting it from the current family, student, faculty, and employee housing up the hill. And the building site is that intersection that we're heading towards, that open area there. We're now heading down Hagar towards the intersection of Coolidge Drive. These are all present day views. I can't skip ahead easily in the video, in the slide presentation. What we'll go to after these different approaches to that intersection is looking at what the buildings and the vegetation will look like in 2030 on that family student housing
But
site.
the site is on your left right now.
Yeah, and one of the issues is this view of the ocean that you can get from the different locations coming down on campus on Hagar, coming down on the bike path to the right. That's a pedestrian path along the left-hand side of the road. So one of the issues is this kind of viewscape of the meadows out to the ocean that people are talking about.
Which you will still see.
Which you will see again when we have the buildings there. If you went straight, you'd go into employee housing. If you turn right, you're going to head towards the historic district and the base of campus.
Now,
Bingo, it's 2030, and you're going to drive those same routes. So we're going to start at the base of campus. Hopefully we skip through the, it just takes a minute.
No new car simulation.
It's the same bus, turning left at the intersection of Hagar and Coolidge. Hagar's the one crosswise, current faculty and staff housing on the right, family, student housing, and childcare to your left as you head up this outer ring road. So you're going by the vegetation as it's matured in that time. You can see the buildings in the topography. You're coming down Coolidge, the outer ring road from upper campus. You can see the ocean in the distance on a clear day. Buildings are to your right as you come down the road. And family, student housing, and childcare. We explored our new career as filmmakers after your request last time. With much help, you can see Ranch View Terrace in the distance at the yellow area. The other faculty and staff housing is to your left on both sides of Hagar. Yep. Now we're heading uphill towards the center of campus on Hagar with the family, student housing, and childcare to our right. We're going to open into being able to see most of the expanse of this pasture. We didn't simulate our cows, but we have cows there seasonally on that field. We're now flying over, just as you saw that aerial view at the beginning, there's the base of campus at the yellow arrow. You come up through the historic district, past 2 stoplights to this intersection. Coolidge is the road on your left, running up the outside of the campus. Hagar is at a perpendicular to it, running up the campus. We're now driving down Hagar, and you see the ocean. And you see a little bit of the buildings, but you see the trees and the ocean. I don't want to impugn anyone's intentions, but I believe that the individuals that are saying they would rather have a really big building here do not want a really big building here. They want nothing here. And I think if we were to propose putting something much taller here, first of all, it's more challenging because of the underlying geology and topography, but it also is much more visible from off campus. And our previous interactions with the community have said they don't want something really high on that site. So we have tried to mimic the historic district and the look and feel of these buildings and kind of nestling it into the topography. This site is not in the historic district itself, but you have that long drive, 45 seconds or so, coming up from the base of campus to get to this site, past 2 traffic lights, that has historic buildings in use and in states of arrested decay on both sides of the road as you come up. And now you're inside. I can stop it at this point if you like. Yeah, there will be no cars. These are relics or something. But this is, some of you had asked last time about what would it look like inside. The density is meant to be appropriate for families without being indulgent for families. And a good deal of the site space is for the child care center that you're just coming past. On your right there, it had the big slug on the front. And just showing you some of the amenities associated with the child care center and with the family units, which are constructed around 2 loops looking inwards so that children and supervision are away from the vehicular traffic. On Coolidge, there will be a right-in and right-only exit entrance, and on Hagar, there will be a right-in and right-only entrance and exit.
Do you have